Decades of Israeli military occupation in Palestine have resulted in significant social, political, and economic problems for Palestinians. With a growing interest in social entrepreneurship worldwide, many wonder whether social entrepreneurship can take root under such conditions.
Young entrepreneurs, they need access to information, access to knowledge, access to technology.
How can an international cohort of students and experts help create innovative solutions to seemingly intractable problems?
As Palestinians, using our products instead of using other countries' products will solve a lot of problems. To have our own control on our economy and to depend on ourselves.
Since the establishment of Israel in 1948, Palestinians have been striving to overcome the hardships brought on by colonialism, military occupation, and what leading human rights organizations have called apartheid. Severe restrictions on movement, employment, development, trade, and commerce have left Palestinians largely dependent on the Israeli economy with little opportunity for self-determination.
Palestinians don't have control over their economy. We don't have control over our borders. So when it comes to export and import, we can't really export and import without validation and approvals from the Israeli side. This makes it very hard for Palestinians to create their own startups in Palestine.
One of the only recourses young people have to work toward change is through their education. Obtaining a college education equips young Palestinians with the tools, skills, and networks that not only help the younger generation face the daily challenges of living under occupation, but also prepares them to lead.
This is part of our resistance. Part of our resistance is to get educated, to learn, to look for information, to look for knowledge, and to network and bond with people outside of Palestine.
The entrance of Al-Quds University, one of the largest universities in Palestine, stands just 50 yards from the separation wall built by Israel in the early 2000s. Within AQU sits Al-Quds Part College, one of the few liberal arts colleges in the Middle East and a member of the Open Society University Network, also called OSUN.
There might be so many solutions, but today we will brainstorm and find the best solution that will solve.
Dalia Najjar is an economics instructor who teaches the Palestinian cohort of the OSUN Network Course Social Entrepreneurship. The course connects students across the global OSUN network to collaboratively develop solutions to pressing real-world problems.
We meet at AQB in a classroom and we go over the subjects of social entrepreneurship. And then we have a global session. We have over 100 students. They all come together on Zoom to pitch their projects and tell us the progress that they have made during the last week.
The class uses a project tracking software called Rebelbase, which allows student groups to develop and share ideas in real time.
So each student now has an account for them on Rebelbase, and we showed you how to start. Rebelbase platform is the foundation for this class. So students create their own accounts and they build a project as a team. One student will be in Bangladesh and one student in Bethlehem, and they will be working on the same project together on the same time on Rebelbase. And they can view the progress made and leave notes under every section and giving feedback to their peers.
Alejandro Crawford is one of the lead professors of the OSUN Social Entrepreneurship course and works with an international team of business experts to help students fine-tune their business ideas. They meet and exchange ideas over the Rebelbase platform.
Instead of just showing you what to do, it assumes that you just understand a problem, and it guides you through the process of turning that into a viable project. We create a space where those who are close to problems have a guided process for developing solutions in a community of peers and experts and resource providers.
One group of students was led by Ahmed Hijjawi, who used the class to develop ideas that would eventually become the company CleanPal Co.
أنا طبعاً سجلت لكورس السوشيال انتربرينورشيب واللي هو بيحكي عن الأعمال الريادية خصوصي للجنريشن الصغير تبعنا، كيف نبلش البروجكتس تبعنا كستارت اب وكيف نبلش فيه خطوة بخطوة علشان نوصل لنهاية زي ما تحكي إنشاء المشروع هذا.
One of the problems that Palestinians face is a lack of access to land. The vast majority of land is under the Israeli military control or under the control of illegal Israeli settlements also protected by the Israeli military. This makes Palestinian coordination of crucial services such as waste management very difficult.
So the Palestinian situation is not an easy one. It's very challenging, and there are so many restrictions coming from the Israeli side. If you look at Palestine on the map, you can see it as one big country. However, actually it's separated and it's divided into 3 areas under 3 different controls. So we have Area A, where it's controlled by the Palestinian Authority. And then we have Area B, which should be a joint control between the Israelis and the Palestinians. However, in reality, it is controlled by the Israeli military. And Area C, which is completely controlled by the Israelis, and we don't have any power or authority on Area C.
One result of this partitioning is that industries such as stone cutting have nowhere to dispose of industrial waste.
هلا لاحظنا انه في مشكلتين عندنا في فلسطين اللي هي مشكلة رب الحجر اللي بيكون بحالة سائلة مثل الطين وبيرتمى في الأراضي الزراعية، وبعد ما ينشف كمان بدمر الأرض الزراعية هاي وبدمر المية الجوفية اللي تحت الأرض. وبالإضافة لإطارات السيارات المستعملة اللي بتم رميها أيضاً في أراضي بشكل عام زراعية أغلبها كمان بتدمر هاي الأراضي الزراعية من خلال حرقها علشان يتخلصوا منها.
Having experienced stone waste dumping firsthand on his own family's land, Ahmed and his research team began to visit local stone quarry factories to understand the process of manufacturing and to see how they could address the problem. They discovered that stone factories struggled to find environmentally friendly ways to dispose of stone dust and were pleased to meet a team of young people who could help them manage the problem.
هم كانوا جاييني بخصوص موضوع الربو، فأنا كمان انبسطت من هذا الموضوع لأنه هذا بشكل لنا أزمة، لأنه فيش له حل حاليا، فيش لها مكان مخصص في البلد أو المكان اللي احنا فيه رفيها. دول برا بيستخدموا معجون دهان، معجون أي شيء بدخلوه في صناعات ثانية، احنا هذا كله بروح هدر وبكلفنا ونحط عليه تكلفة عالية جدا، كلفني $2000 شهريا. فأنا مشجع للشباب وللجامعة اللي ودتهم علي أساسا، وإن شاء الله نلاقي لنا حل هالموضوع.
Ahmed and his student team took what they had learned back to the Al-Quds University lab and discovered that new rubber products could be created for use in construction.
فإحنا لقينا حل للمشكلة هاي عن طريق إننا نخلط رب الحجر مع الإطارات المطاطية بعد ما نقسمه أو بعد ما نطحنه بالأحرى، فنخلط هدول أو بخليط بين الرب الحجر والإطارات المطاطية. وجدنا 3 حلول اللي هي بنصنع منتجات مثل الطوب، الأرضيات المطاطية، وبلاط الأرصفة من خلال هاي الملوثات. فإحنا هنا أطلعنا من الملوثات منتجات نقدر نستخدمها.
In 2021, the group's project was awarded the Best Student Entrepreneurial Company Award at a regional entrepreneurship competition, and they are now seeking investors for a wider rollout of their products. Another group of Al-Quds students in the OSUN Social Entrepreneurship class with an innovative project was that of Dalia Handal and Ilyas Amru, who decided to focus on the educational needs of young Palestinians.
How Investosphere came to be was a little messy. Me and Ilyas were in a group together. He had a separate idea. I had a completely different idea. His idea was to build an online platform for students so that they can communicate with each other. Mine was a little similar, but different target audience. I wanted to build something locally where we can teach youth how they could expand their horizons, how they could build their own businesses. For a good month, We were going head to head about which direction we wanted to take until we combined the two. We ended up taking his idea of a platform, his idea of how he wanted to build the website, but including different types of courses, different types of opportunities for students and youth across Palestine.
After winning the Disrupt to Sustain award from OSUN, the team was able to build their platform, which allows users to take courses, offer courses, and participate in skill shares.
I think what makes Investopeer completely different than other platforms was the fact that our platform wasn't only made for like one language or like you just putting on your own schedule or picking your own classes, but it was also very inclusive of schools, universities, and different youth who aren't able to get a university education. They'd have access to free classes that would help them enhance their human capital.
At Al-Quds BART, students tested the new platform.
I first, make my own design, sketch it up, and I ask people, kind of get their insight. Oh, do you like this? I let them use the website. Did you find this, usable? Did you have troubles going through this? What is something that you felt could use a lot of improvement?
The students hope that their social entrepreneurship ventures will transform social problems on the ground and contribute to changing local and global understandings of what Palestine is capable of.
A lot of people kind of, think of Palestine as maybe subpar when it comes to technology. Even Palestinians sometimes say, oh, I use this website, even though there is a Palestinian alternative to it, because they think, oh, that's more developed. I definitely feel like we should focus a lot on the tech sector, and I hope this boosts the economy, at least in the tech section.
عندنا بفلسطين وحالتنا اللي هو في حال تحكم الاقتصاد الإسرائيلي على الاقتصاد الفلسطيني. احنا هيك بنعتمد على حالنا كاقتصاد فلسطيني خاص فينا ومنتج خاص فينا اللي بخلينا نصدر هاي المنتجات تبعتنا لبرا ونتوسع أكتر وأكتر، واللي حيفيد اقتصادنا ويخلينا نقدر نكون متحكمين فيه أكتر.
Most people, what they know about Palestine and the Palestinians is the conflict. However, us Palestinians, we're very talented. We want to live, we love to live. So we try to overcome all those challenges and find a way to live, not closely to normal, but as much as we can to anyone else around the world. Now with the internet and Zoom and all, the access, the technological access, we kind of feel a little bit connected to the world.
What we see in this class are students all around the globe that have at least one thing in common. They're all passionate about proper education for women in rural areas, or they're all passionate about plastic pollution waste in our ocean. And so students who might have nothing in common, they would never ever meet, are now joined together because they share this passion, and from there they unlock many other similarities, but they're also unlocking their superpower.
Palestine and Palestinian students continue to face significant challenges, but with access to new globally oriented tools such as Rebel-based and network courses, Palestinian students are increasingly able to maneuver some of the many restrictions they experience. These new modes of learning engender a type of leadership that is rooted in creative and critical thinking, and that encourages Palestinian youth to envision new pathways toward liberation.